All right.
Hi, Sarah. Tell everybody where you are.
Hello and welcome to Conversations with Sarah. Today's date is April 30th, 2020. I'm in Miami, Florida, and we have with us Guru Dan
Hello.
and Rebecca York from Canada.
Hi.
Hi. And you can find us on Conversations with Sarah on YouTube and Facebook. And on our WhatsApp group, if you'd like to join, just messenger me on Facebook and let me know. Um, so, welcome everybody. Thank you for
Hi.
joining us today. And Rebecca here has a wonderful story to start us off with. So, Rebecca, would you like to take it?
Okay, sure, I can. Well, I first got in touch with Guru Dan when I was in a very bad way, very, very bad way, emotionally, spiritually, every other way. My
Mm-hmm.
mom had just passed away, and I was really going through a very hard time at the office due to a coworker who was, I know this sounds stupid, but bullying me essentially. She was very, very, very nasty and very aggressive and really just trying her best to make sure that my life was miserable so that I would quit pretty much. And I'm like, well, girlie, you landed there like a couple of years ago and I've been here for darn near 25. So like, I don't think so.
Oh,
But
wow.
I was still miserable.
Mm-hmm.
I was so miserable and so unhappy and I didn't know what to do because everybody would say, oh, ignore her and she won't bother with you. That didn't
Mm-hmm.
work. Or just, try to be nice to her. And I did, but that didn't work either.
Welcome, Kimmy.
So the only thing that did work was the thing that Dan suggested to me. And I was like absolutely shocked when it did.
Okay,
Because I
so
was like,
what was
yeah,
your
okay, well, I'll
suggestion?
try it because, sorry, were you going to say something?
I said, what was the suggestion?
The suggestion was light energy. Now, I'd kind of heard of that, but I didn't really know how it worked. So I just I took the suggestions and then incorporated, I just sort of modified them to fit my own particular situation. And I started working with light energy. And like he said, you can take arrows and chuck them at somebody, when you're angry with them, when you're feeling, attacked. And a lot
Mm-hmm.
of times she was just very, very sullen and just very in her own space. So I got a color that I knew she would, for me, it reminded me of her. It was green, very,
Okay, so
very
these are
material.
these are energy arrows you're saying?
Yes. And green was like, to me, it was her color. And
Mm-hmm.
green is a good color. And green to me represented everything she wanted: money, security, that type of thing, stability
Mhm.
in her life.
And
So I
love.
used it as a weapon, not in a bad way,
A love
except when I was
weapon,
mad,
not
and then
not
I
a
would,
not a not a not a weapon of mass destruction, not a destructive
then I would
weapon,
just
but
sort
a
of,
beneficial. It's really like the
Yeah.
yeah,
anti-weapon.
I would like
Yeah.
hurl emeralds, like I'd have an avalanche of emeralds at her when I was really mad. Or, sometimes if she was just being a little bitch, I would, throw the arrows or what have you. And the thing I did the most though was what I call the green screen. So I put up, like, I covered her and like I bathed her in a veil of green light. And it was like a calming thing and it separated me from her. So it gave me that protection.
Interesting.
And it really worked. It's almost like she didn't see me behind this green screen.
Mm.
And I was able to look her in the eyes for the first time in a long time when I started doing this. And it was like what she said, it didn't bother me anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I
It's
had this,
interesting how they had an effect on you and
yeah,
simultaneously. So
yes,
this green screen you
yes,
put up that was supposed to be, a area of okay, love, compassion, uh, wealth, and just coming back to yourself. worked on both of you at the same time.
It did. It was a protective device for me. It was a protective device.
Mm-hmm.
And anyhow, what the coolest thing was, though, it was that the fact that I eventually got to the point where what she said, it literally didn't bother me. Like, she said something really, really that would have just driven me crazy one day. And it
Mm-hmm.
was so bad that my supervisor even asked me, like, what did you think? What do you think of that? I don't think she should have said that. And I was like, I don't really care. And I didn't care. It was the greatest thing. And so it just worked wonders. And
Wonderful.
after about 6 months of working with these color energies, she got um, the job of her dreams. She got the
Wow.
position of her dreams, and she left my office. So I did not have to see her again. So I was only wishing well for her the entire time. That's why I chose green,
Mm-hmm.
because it reminded me of her, because she wanted what the green represented to me. And so, by golly, yes, that's what I did.
Well,
That's
that's
exactly what I
absolutely
did. I was like
wonderful.
so happy. So
Yeah.
happy when I heard she had gotten her dream job and she would be leaving. I was like, oh my gosh, it's good for you and it's great for me.
I want to go
So
back and
since then,
paint
I
the
have been
story there.
using these things in other ways, these energies that
Mm-hmm.
Dan told me about,
Mm-hmm.
and they've been very beneficial.
Wonderful.
Like, I have a supervisor that sometimes gets on my nerves. So when he does, I pick the color I associate with him, and I, hit him with an avalanche of amethysts or pelt him with a few purple stones or whatever. So it's just very, very weird. It's just, to me, it was like almost like a miracle how it worked. I told a couple of people about it, and they were like, my gosh, I can't believe this actually works, but it does. It really does.
Yeah, let me tell the story about a little bit more of the backstory.
Go ahead,
So,
Dan.
so she was referred to me by a friend of a friend of a friend on the internet. And so I talked to her, and she was so distraught. It's like, oh, I mean, everything was unhappy. And almost every aspect of her life was a mess, energetic mess. And I'm looking at her and go, oh my gosh, well, we need to fix everything that we can. But I didn't have time per se to like train her in my stuff I know about energy on how to shift things. But as I said, well, look, if you play this little game with me, and actually really do it, I can guarantee results. And so she was just so unhappy, and the work environment was so terrible. I mean, she hated to go to work, but she couldn't get
Mhm.
another job. She was devoted to that job. She's been there over 2 decades, and it's like, she didn't understand why everything was collapsing on her. Even her home life was collapsing on her. And what was going on was she was so unhappy with work that the whole time she was at work, she was actually secretly condemning all the energies.
Mm-hmm.
Every interaction was condemnation. Everything was negative. And then that energy would go home. And then she was using, you know, condemnation energy to do everything with. And she was miserable. Absolutely, completely miserable. Didn't care about life, didn't care about nothing, had no hope, no way out that she could see from her perspective. No, absolutely no way to do anything, and just was kind of giving up a little bit, which was really super sad because it would have been easy to change. And so I don't know why she listened to me, but she did. And I don't know why she took it to heart, but she did and said, look, let's just start doing this stuff. And so she started. And said, look, when you look at the person, using your own intuition, think of the color that comes up with them. So when you look at a person, what color comes? And so she was following her guidance on, her girl there that she had the most trouble with. Oh no, her color was green for the most part. Well, green is a heart chakra color. It's a very loving color. It's one of the main colors we have on the planet. Just about everything is green here, right?
Yeah.
So it couldn't have been any more natural of a color to amplify, an energy to amplify, just amplify green.
Mm-hmm.
Even water is green sometimes. So you could use all these different elements. And it wasn't long. I think after she started it, and then we would talk, like every day or every other day, and just do like a status report. In the first couple of days, not so much, but then after a couple of days, and she started noticing, oh, this is way different, because she had been locked into her misery for so long that she could instantly recognize when something shifted into reality, right? So she was there for quite a while. She was really pretty miserable. But then she could start seeing changes. And then she started getting excited about all the different changes that happened. And then she's like going, wow, this is really awesome. I had no idea. And so I think I told her about the story I had with another friend who had a really bad neighbor. He was absolute bad neighbor. He had motorcycles that were really loud, and he would turn the motorcycle on at like 3 a.m. and rev it, rev it, rev it. One time he revved it till he blew it, and he was just awful in the neighborhood. He would just stand on his porch. Sometimes he wouldn't be dressed. When the school buses are going by and the police would get called on him, and they couldn't do anything. And she said, oh, her and some of the neighbor girls, they made like this girls club, and they were just trying to find ways to get him out of the neighborhood. They tried to sue him. They tried to do everything. I said, no, 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 no. I said, no, no, no. I said, you all need to surround him with some light. I said, but it cannot be white light, and it cannot be fire. Do not use flame.
Wow.
I said, because you want to bless him, you don't want to like burn his house down. and so came up with the idea of to bless somebody the fuck away from you. Honestly,
That's what I did.
It actually came down to that. I said, look, you get together with your girls, you tell them how important this is, and so you just bathe him in light, put him in like a pearl of whatever light, but not white. And she said, well, we got this one Christian lady, and she says only use white light. I said, well, there's problems with white light that I'm not going to go into right now, but white light has a limitation. And the other colors of light that most people don't use are the ones you should be using. So anyway, I explained this story to Rebecca and said, all right, so Rebecca, try not to use white light. Just use whatever other colors come. And it was really, really interesting that the colors that she came up with intuitively were the absolute colors that needed to do the job. And so that was another neat
So
thing.
what happened to the man?
The man, they finally blessed him. He finally got a job offer in another state that was so good that he moved away. And they did that. They did that in 5 months.
Blessed him.
They blessed him completely out of their town. In 5 months. I tell you, you can do a lot. There are people who feel they are oppressed. And as long as they believe they're oppressed, they will be. But if you go the other direction with your thoughts, because people think, a lot of people are using condemnation energy to try to do like light work, like try to get away from things or try to force things to happen. And condemnation energy doesn't do that. It's just a really, really weird negative that amplifies more negative. It's not what you want to use at all. You want to use other colors. You want to use other ideas. You want to bless them away from you, not curse them away from you. You will never be able to curse anything away from you, ever.
Yes.
The same way that I get this in like sick people who complain a lot. You will never, ever
complain
ever,
enough.
ever in the history of the universe ever be able to complain anything better, ever. It just,
No.
it's impossible to, you really need to use blessing energy for real and just say, oh, I'm blessed here, I'm blessed there, and then amplify
Exactly.
the blessings instead of amplifying. But so many people are rejecting energies and they don't understand that once you get in the habit of rejecting energies, it
Hmm.
can amplify and just ruin everything. And that's sort of a state that Rebecca was in when we met. Is that
Oh yeah, big
she
time.
was just so upset. She would cry. She would be upset and say, "I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I can't just leave. I don't have enough money to get another job. I can't move. I can't relocate. I can't get away." I said, "Look, you running away from the energies." That was another thing that she didn't understand. That you can't run away from the energies that you created. They're gonna
Yeah.
just go with you. They're just going to go with you. You think, oh, I'm just going to go get a new job. Say, well, yeah, it'll be great for a minute until you get that
Mm,
ruined too.
exactly.
So, well, how can I do? What can I do? So you're not going to believe this, but this is how you do it. I just look, you start using colors
Mhm.
and you start using your intention and
Yes.
you start using blessing instead of condemnation energy. Use positive energy instead. And it shifted everything for her. It reflected in all kinds of different ways in her life. So the people started treating her better. She got another nicer work area. She got other things. After a while, that other girl, her arch nemesis, got a promotion and relocated completely out of there and other stuff. And then her life started. She got another apartment. An apartment opened up. She moved
Mm.
to the other side of town. She got where she wanted to be. She was out of that nasty place she was in,
So the thing
because
you thought you couldn't have
all
because
the stuff she couldn't have
she
because
couldn't have,
of
she
the
was busy
negative
diagnosing
focus.
the next person in front of her.
Yeah.
All of
And
the things
she
you thought she couldn't have.
shifted
That's wonderful.
everything. It's been reflected so many different ways. And she's been a much happier person the last year or so than
Oh,
Yeah.
than she's been in a while. And she did it from where she started. So that's an interesting spiritual story as well. People think, oh, in order to change things, we need to change the environment. No,
No,
your environment doesn't change. You change you.
because you are your environment.
You are your environment. So
very
it's the
true.
whole Dr. Wayne Dyer thing. When you change the way you look
You
at
are
things, the
your
things you look
reality.
at change, right? And then there was
Yeah.
the other, what was the other saying that's really, really good with that is when you want to change more than you want the same, then only then will you change. So when you want to
Yeah.
change more than you want to stay the same, only then will you change. And Rebecca wanted to change so bad she almost couldn't stand it, but she didn't know how to change, and she didn't even know where to begin. So we just started playing this little game with colors and
Hmm.
energy, and chucking little spears of energy into people and saying, here, because people forget that we're really good sensors. We can sense somebody's kind of energy, and we know when another energy grates us or doesn't
Yes.
grate us. We kind of know. But if we can give them, you know, just give them, some positive thought, or give them some good colors, or whatever, and then they think that you're, you know, it's interesting that when you look at a person or you have a situation with a person and you try to imagine a color for that person, that whatever color comes up, and then you offer them that color, and every time they're around you offer them that color, and what you don't know that you're doing is you are instinctively, intuitively choosing the color that's best going to heal that person.
Mm.
And if you keep transmitting that frequency out, that person is going to begin to read those frequencies from you and think that you're good for them. And then they'll
Yeah.
begin treating you differently.
Yes, they will.
They'll begin treating you like you're them. I know it's weird, but you're just sending color to them. You're just wishing them or bathing them in
Mm.
this light.
But it's
Yeah.
much more than the color.
It's
It's
much more than the color. It's what the
the
colors
intention,
mean.
it's the frequency, it's the
Yes.
meaning of the color, it's
Yeah.
the dimension of the color, it's
Yes.
the like dimension of the thoughts that the person who's chucking the colors
Yes.
and
Yeah.
the dimension of the thoughts of the person who's receiving the colors.
But do you
So,
understand? You can't just explain this to somebody and have them take off and go use it. You just have to say, look, just play this little game with me. We're just gonna, you make a spear of that color and you just keep chucking it at them.
and I
And
like the idea of the game because we are
Mm.
in a physical realm game. And when you think of the idea of a game, you automatically become happy
Yeah.
when you're
well,
doing it.
what's neat about chucking the spears though is that it also allowed her to slowly
Mm.
vent off
Yeah.
all of that aggressive energy that she had
Yeah.
pent up inside because
But
she was pretty
she wound
hateful
up
about some stuff.
transmuting the frequencies of the venting
Yeah.
because she turned from to happiness in
Yes.
the game.
So we had to find a fun creative way for her to vent all of that and still be doing the right thing.
Yeah,
So
I
to
like
take
it.
that and turn all the energies around, but turn it all around in her favor. When
Mm.
she thought that there wasn't a single solitary thing going on in her life that was in her favor, how to turn around a life. And you do it energetically. You do it energetically each and every time.
You know what I'm picturing as you guys are talking? You know
What?
that game that it's the little paper football game where somebody does this
Yeah, yeah,
and you have that piece of paper and you try to flick it
yeah.
through
Yeah,
the goal here.
only the paper football would be a color, and instead of the
Yeah,
goalpost, it's their heart. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
the
yeah.
entire time.
So,
Chucking it.
in that idea, you could even write down special intentions on the paper of the football,
That's true.
and then fold the football up,
Mhm.
and then make it a color, and then flip it right into them, and go, oh, yeah,
Yeah, you remember that game that we used to like do
yeah.
this
The I forget what they call the
paper
Weeble Wobble thing. Yeah,
and we
yeah,
would open up
Oh yeah.
for the different
People-
things inside, the
yeah,
different
yeah,
ideas inside that
yeah,
was written. That's what that is.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That would be great.
That is awesome. I like that idea.
So we were able to change. So really, it's how have you been doing it, Rebecca? I mean, overall, from where we first met to now, I don't even remember how long it's been. It's been over a year.
I can remember it was in February of last year.
Mm.
Was it? So it's been just over a year. And in a year's time, everything has changed. Every absolute thing has changed for her
That's very true.
completely. She's in a completely different energy range altogether.
Beautiful. I love to hear
She's in
stories like
another
that.
apartment. She's in a better space. She's got things. That doesn't mean that she doesn't have contrast in her reality. She
Of
still
course.
has, trouble spots, but at
Mm.
least the trouble spots aren't so crushing like
No,
they
they're
were
not so
before, right?
overwhelming. They're not so all encompassing.
Yes, they
Yeah.
used to be just absolutely just pound her every time just one little thing would go wrong and just collapse her whole castle and she'd have to start over again and she was just so exhausted from trying.
Mm-hmm.
And now when something comes, she's able to bounce off of it better. So her spiritual armor has really gotten a lot stronger, where
Mm-hmm.
she wasn't using any armor, and now she's
Well,
actually got some confidence in her life about having power over things that most people are completely powerless about.
Well, I want to change the idea of power over to power with.
Yeah, yeah.
mhm.
But but
Because the power
to
over
the
means
people
that
who are
you
like
are
that, yeah, there are a lot of
becoming,
people who think that there's power over them.
yeah, there's no power over, it's power with. You're working
Yeah.
with the energies and the
Yes,
frequencies to
everything
help
is a
you come
co-creation.
together. It's
It's
a
not the other way
co-creation.
around.
Yes.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say hi to Kimmy. I know she's just sitting there on the side.
Hi, Kimmy.
Hi everyone. I've been wanting to say hi for a minute, and
Yeah.
hi everyone. I'm getting a lot out of
Welcome.
this
Hi.
story. It's really helping me a lot too.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, you can learn about shifting the energies just by using color. Yeah, so everything, yeah, so start making a little game of it, and everybody can do it. Anybody can do it. A lot of
Yeah.
people do it and don't even know they're doing it. Is that they're transmitting frequencies out that are either helping them or hindering them. That people are
Yes.
transmitting all the time. And what they don't know is sometimes people who are treating them badly are either misreading their energies or you're absolutely sending them really bad energies. And they're picking up on it and go, oh, I don't like that guy because, oh, he grates my nerves or whatever.
Well, I
Which
like
is
the fact that she changed her energy first.
yeah, well,
It
yeah.
wasn't about changing, well, it was about changing the other person's frequency and that energy, but
Well, what we did was we took a thing that was a
hers off.
completely non-actionable thing,
Yeah.
and then we put an action to it, something she could actually do about it,
Yeah.
even though it sounded weird, but it was satisfying. It
Like at that,
became satisfying.
Learns that she has a power that she can use. I like to
Yeah.
call
Yeah,
them my powers
it was
because
such a learning thing. And I
yeah.
mean, it's gotten to the point now where, remember, Dan, when I went in for the interview earlier this year,
Mm.
and I
She was
said it
so
was
worried that she was going to get a
so,
negative review on her interview. She was
yeah.
so worried about it. And then she went to the interview, and what happened?
Well, I went there and it actually wasn't half bad. It wasn't nearly as bad as I thought. I just sat there and I did what you said, and I used the color energy again. I made the bubble. You told me about the ball. I like to think of it as a bubble. And I just, put myself inside it, and it was like nothing could affect me. And as it turned out, there wasn't really a whole lot there that was said that was that, negative. I mean, it was pretty much what I expected it to be, but it never affected me the way I thought it would.
Mm. That's
And
wonderful.
that's really half of the battle.
I can teach that just real quick. I could teach Kimmy the ball. Kimmy, you want to learn the ball?
Kimmy, you there?
No, she's muted. I don't know. She might have gotten distracted. I can wait.
Yeah,
I can
because
wait.
that's a really cool technique. I really like that because it helped me to shelter within that color. So I chose a color that for me is really important, something that I love, and it's pink.
Nice.
So light pink.
Yeah, pink is the other heart chakra color. There's
Yes,
two
it is.
colors for the heart.
And it's
So I
also the
just,
color for the pineal gland as
Is it
well.
really?
You can use it for that.
Okay.
because I was wondering, I did have a question about color though, and I've been using this color lately, and I'm not sure. The person I've been using it on, it reminds me of them, but I'm not really sure if it's all that good a color, and maybe I should switch it.
Okay.
Maybe I should
Well,
change it. You were saying not to use white. I was thinking of off-white, but is that any better?
you can use
Because I've been using gray.
gray, you can use pearl, you can use
Okay, Dan, I want to have this discussion because I want to understand, why did you say not to use white?
because most people have been told all their lives to use the white light. And they've
Ah,
never been told why. They've just been told that the white light is very powerful. So they don't understand that when they do that, they're actually using a negative connotational side of that light energy
oh,
because they're trying to make something happen with the light they're using. And so it's no longer an unconditional love idea. It becomes
right.
conditional. They're using the white light as an end to a means, or a
I
means to an
see.
end. And so
And
they know to use light, but I'm going to use white light because they said to use white light, and white light does everything. Well, wait a minute. You just took all the unconditional love right out of it when you said that.
right, right. And that's the
So
interesting
if you
thing too
use
about it.
another color, any other color, you don't
See, white
have
is
that
no,
negative connotation. So
see, white has no color. It's like if you're using white, it's an obliterative thing to
Well,
me.
I've
Now that
never
you mention
used
it.
it in that frequency before. When I
I know, but
use
you're
the
not
white
most people, Sarah. You're like me. You're pretty weird, and you know stuff, right?
Well,
And
yeah, that
so,
makes a few of us, don't
so
you?
it's
I,
there are
when I use
times
white right. I use that high vibrational white
Yes,
light
when you
too
know,
with
when
all
you
the
use
colors.
white light unconditionally, it's really wonderful stuff. But when most people are talking about using white light, they're trying to manipulate some other energy into their will.
Okay.
Do you see? It's not
It's
unconditional
a,
at all.
to
And
me,
so,
it's
Oh,
like a means to an end sort of a thing, like you were saying.
yes, yeah,
Yeah. And
yeah.
it
mhm.
should
And
be the
that's the
end.
wrong connotational
Should be
aspect of
the
the
end
light.
in
So if the
itself.
white light were pure, then yes. But if not, then no. And it just depends. You have to hear them talk about how
Yeah.
they want to use the light. And
That's,
if it's any kind of unconditional, then say no. Don't use the white light. Use almost any
that's
other color.
what I was
Use a
thinking. Maybe
pearlized
those.
white, or
Oh,
use a I like a white gold iridescent kind of idea. Is really really wonderful too. Like a white gold, where it's not really all the way white. It's really more gold than white, but it's like a white gold.
yeah.
Mhm.
Or like
And
the color of a pearl, which is not
or
white. It's just white.
pearlized white, and there'd be different shades of white within the pearl. That's why the pearls are
Mhm.
kind of like that. You know, it might be a swirly kind of idea where
Golden.
you have a
Yeah.
darker kind of white represented and a whiter white kind of represented, and they're together working together in a white kind of idea to do stuff. Then that would be okay. But
Mhm.
if you're trying to use white light to just completely do the wrong thing, which is how most people use white light, there's a negative connotation on it that will backfire on your idea.
Oh. Well, maybe because whenever I put like a light energy on anything that I'm looking to do energetically, um, I put out the intention, but once I put out the intention, I let go any ideas and
Yeah,
allow the light
Right.
to surface and do what it needs to do on its own. Um, Maybe that's what it is, because like you said, I don't put any conditions
No.
on what it's
yeah.
supposed to be
So
doing.
people who are used to working with energies are less conditional about it, which is really,
Right.
really important.
Yeah, it's kind of like
Really,
nothing's
really,
there. It's just it
it's kind of
goes
like nothing. Yes.
osmosis.
It's like, here, I wish the best for you. I don't know how that's going to, I wish the best for you, whatever that means for you. Right.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
I
it's the
mean,
most
that's,
unconditional thing that
yeah.
you can say to them. Say, here, I wish this for you. I don't know how that's going to happen. I can't think that through for you. I just wish you best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Wish you
however
well.
that unfolds for you is how, and I'm open for it to unfold for you
And
anyway. That
however
is,
which
yeah.
way.
And then
Yes.
just go, good luck. Right.
Yeah.
Good luck. I hope that works for you. Right. And that's about all you can do.
Well, that's kind of what I did, like it was just like
Yeah.
I wanted the best, but I just sent out that good stuff, but it was not thinking, oh, it was just sending out the energy and letting it work for itself, I guess.
Yes, exactly.
Just like a release for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. And
And
she would,
that's
I don't,
unconditional.
and I don't know if she remembered. I would tell, sometimes the color will change. Sometimes a day will come and go, oh, it wants a different shade of that, or it wants a different color altogether. And I said,
Okay.
whatever intuitively comes up, just offer that color, whatever it is,
Right.
whatever comes up from that.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I should change from the gray to the off-white. I think the
Yeah,
gray
yeah.
is more what she is. The off-white is more what I think she might want to be. I know that sounds
See,
weird.
that's intuition. That is intuition right there.
It's intuition working. Yeah. And
That's
so
a
let it work.
discernment.
Yeah. And that's her also honing her color
Her own
energetic skill,
supernatural,
her
the
own skill.
supernatural
Yes.
powers. That's I
Yeah.
love it.
So she's gone from a condemnation amplified negative life experience with no hope to a more empowered energetically. She's understanding things better, and a much more positive overall kind of
Yeah.
life. It just shifted so much for her, and she's just been in great gratitude about the whole thing, that even
Hmm.
so stuff is happening better for her all the time. So things don't hurt as much, and
No.
things don't, when something negative happens, it doesn't linger and amplify like it used to. Sometimes
No.
some negative things are very short-lived, and a lot of her concerns, she might have the concerns because she's used to having them, and then get there and find out, oh, they've completely uninvolve themselves, or they could completely spun themselves out. Oh, I'm going to go to this job review. Oh, I'm so worried about it. And then get there and go, oh, well, that was nothing.
Yeah, pretty much.
That was,
Pretty much. I mean, it was like,
I spend all that worried energy doing nothing. Wow, I could have, I don't know, done almost anything else with that energy.
yeah,
So she's done so well that even when the negative thing rears its head, it's not even as negative as it used to be. So she can see that she's in a much better space than she's ever been.
that's
So,
very true.
Rebecca, so you're using this in your everyday life now, right?
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes, I use it all the time, really. Like if I come across a situation that I think is going to be problematical, like I did with the lady I was just talking about, who is my upstairs neighbor, and
Mm-hmm.
there have been some very, very bad vibes from her towards me. So that's how I'm just trying to deal with it, by sending out this energy,
Mm-hmm.
covering her in that energy, so that, it will help dissipate those bad vibes and get us on a more even keel, a better footing.
Energetically even keel. She's not necessarily asking her to change or show
No,
a difference,
no, not at all.
but to
No, I mean,
energetically shift the field into
yeah,
her favor, so this negative person doesn't turn into like a really bad person for her.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
So she's come to learn even that much about the energies and go, oh, I shouldn't be angry back at this person. I should
No,
do something
and
else instead.
she has been very angry at me, and I don't know why, and it's confusing, but instead of stressing and obsessing like I used to do, I just take this and I just let it go her way, like whenever I feel that there's something that's, that could be construed in a negative way by
The
me or
conflict.
by
Yeah.
her, yeah, then the conflict, that sort of thing, I just try to dissipate that and, neutralize it with just, a nice burst of energy.
Lovely.
Yeah. And then you hear her laugh about it. So she knows, she just lifted right there because she
Yeah.
knows it works, right? And so, yeah, it's really,
I know it works. I mean,
it's a neat, interesting thing. It's a neat, interesting aspect of life that most people have situations going on that they believe are not actionable, that really are actionable if you'll just play this little game.
yeah,
Well, I
It's just
love
a
this
little
game.
game, just chucking spears of light into people and shifting all the energies. And that shifts your energy and that shifts their energy. It shifts everything. And then everything
exactly,
changes.
exactly. It's just good all around. It's beneficial all around. It's like when that girl left, I was just, like, good for you and better for me, sort of a thing. There you go.
It turned into a win-win.
Win-win.
That's
Yeah.
right. Win-win, win-win all the way.
Hey, Kimmy, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just listening.
There you are. All right.
How do you think this will work for you?
I think it's a really good idea. Like, I'm in a 12-step program, and we learn to, like, when we're resentful at someone, to pray for them, and it's worked that way for me as well. And it sounds like a really similar thing.
Yes, it
Right.
is.
Yeah, it is. It's very similar.
I love it.
I love it too. I'm going to implement it.
Oh, cool.
All right. And then
Very
let me
cool.
know, and then I'll talk you through that.
Yes.
Awesome.
So then there was another form of energy movement that you wanted to teach Kimmy.
Yeah, about the ball, but not. I know I said that, but now I'm saying I'm going to wait a little bit. I
Gonna
want
wait
her
for
to go
that.
ahead and play with this idea first, and then we'll add the other later. So stay tuned.
Yes.
Yes.
I have another way of doing what you guys have just mentioned. I like to picture people that I'm in contention with as being
Right.
positive or happy. So, like, let's say somebody's going off in my reality, and like you said, the lady at your job, I would literally, instead of chucking spears at them, I pictured them being happy,
Yeah.
whatever that means for them and for me. I just
It
picture you
means
being
you're a very enlightened person then, Sarah. Because I couldn't get to that point where I would be happy to see her happy. I was like, no,
happy.
just no. Just no. I can chuck green spears at you and have an
Yeah.
avalanche of arrows on you, but I cannot bother myself to see you happy. So I mean, you're very much more advanced than me.
Oh, that's okay.
But I mean, that's awesome,
It
though. I
works
mean,
just as well, though.
I would love to be like that. I really would. And I mean, that's what people were trying to say, that I should try just to be that way. And yeah, okay, but I'm not that way. So
Well,
that's
how
what I
about
loved
this?
about Dan's technique.
How about you picture yourself being happy in the situation? Will that
No,
work
that was
better?
impossible.
That
That
was
was
impossible.
literally
Okay.
impossible for me. Oh my gosh, I just couldn't. I couldn't. But when I was able to do something actively,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, it helped soothe me,
Mm-hmm.
and it just seemed to help the whole atmosphere around us.
Yeah.
Like all this miasma of negativity was parting.
Mm-hmm.
When I would bring the color into it,
Mm-hmm.
it would just like disperse all the badness.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the miracle right there.
Yeah, because it was a
That
game
was a
for you,
miracle
and you
to me.
shifted your energy, and therefore, because your energy shifted, everybody else's energies were able to shift around you because
Yeah,
you were actually vibrating higher, and so
yeah,
everybody
and
else has to vibrate with you to
yeah,
vibrate
and
higher in
that's
your
right. And I think,
surrounding.
Sarah, what you can do is it's like you're doing this without the tool. I needed the tool
You
that
needed
Dan
a
gave
tool.
me to accomplish the same thing. And it's
Yeah,
such an effective tool.
it's
I
a
know I
wonderful
told my
tool.
cousin about what happened, and she was like so impressed, but she's more like you because she has a very negative coworker, and she said she just sends good thoughts her way. And
Hmm.
she just, whenever her coworker says something negative, she responds with a positive. And I'm like, you are so much better than me. I could never do that. But she was like incredibly impressed with, what happened with the
Yeah,
energy when I started working with them and told her about them. She was like, I can see how that can happen because this is in a way the same thing I'm doing,
yeah,
right? Which is what you do also. So, I mean, I think that's so cool.
yeah. I mean, everybody has their way of doing it, and
Yeah.
the tool
It's your
works best
own.
for you. That was
Yeah, it's what works for you.
amazing.
I was so lucky that Dan was able to intuitively discern what might work for me because I love color.
Yeah,
He didn't know that, but for whatever reason,
that's
that's
what
where
came
we
through.
started, the color energy.
Mm-hmm. That's perfect.
It was the first easiest thing,
Yeah.
and it was fun. And I wasn't sure if it was going to work at first, but then she started having so much fun with it,
Yeah.
and she started seeing so many results. And then I began, and say, oh, well, this validates that. Oh, this is really working for you.
I couldn't
So,
believe
oh,
it.
if we could just stay at this,
Mm.
it'll grow like almost exponentially. And it did. And within what? It was like a month or something later. She had like a completely new life in like a month, and it wasn't easy. She had a lot of negative energy already pent up against her. Like her cat passed away, everything else is going on, troubles at home, troubles at work, all this stuff. And just she
Yeah.
started seeing
Every
these little different changes, and it just, oh
yeah.
my gosh,
And it got me through. It got me through the hardest time in my life. I mean, my mom died, and not just my mom, my best friend, then
Mm-hmm.
my favorite cat. It's crazy. Then I had to move out of a place I had lived in for like 20 years. I didn't like it, but hey, I'd been there a long time
Yeah.
and I didn't
But
want to move.
that also shifted your energy to be able to move out of a place you've been in for so long. That helps to shift your energy because now your reality is different. Now everything
Oh,
is new.
yeah. A lot of
So,
shifting going on there.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome, Holly and Lex.
hey Holly,
Welcome.
Lex
Hi.
doesn't have audio yet. There's Lex.
Welcome.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hi.
Hi,
Hi there.
Holly. Yeah.
So it
Oh,
was really neat that she was learning and finding out that she was more empowered than she thought she was, and she
yes.
could do more than she thought she could. And it didn't take money, and it just took a little bit of time. And that
Yeah.
was it. And she found out she did have the tools that she needed to turn her entire life around. And it really wasn't all that hard. Not really. Not compared to the traditional ways she thought she was going to have to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when she found out she already had everything she needed, and I go, what? I can do that from here? Yeah, you can do that from here.
It was easy. It was inexpensive. It was
Yeah.
free. It was, it's like free. It was easy. It was just my kind of thing.
Yeah. And all you had to do was be genuine. And that's
Yeah.
it. Just be genuine.
Yeah.
So
I
simple.
like it.
So
Well,
that.
Holly, we were just discussing Rebecca's experience and learning that she can actually throw light energy with intentions to people around her and have
Awesome.
no effect to her life experience and their life experience as well. So it's like blessings all over.
Fantastic. Congratulations, Rebecca.
Oh, thank you.
That's a biggie.
It really is. It really was very overwhelming at first, but it was so rewarding and so
And it'll
empowering.
only get better.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think so. I've got, another couple little situations here and trying to figure out my way around them, but I think I might use the light energies to help me do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I myself am going to start my manifestation journal here
Oh,
today.
Awesome.
It doesn't matter how big, how small, I'm going to date it, write what I want, and save room to write at
cool.
the end when it manifests and how.
Yeah,
Lovely.
that is
Yeah.
really good.
I hadn't journaled them before, but it's time to start.
No, no, I have never
Amazing.
ever done that either. No,
Yeah. And
that's
that'll show you all the synchronicities that are happening, big and small. And even if you go back, like I journal a lot of my spiritual experiences, awake or alive or any other way.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever I'm led to and I go back and read them, it's usually mind-blowing, the extra information that was there, or at the time I didn't understand. And
right.
it's always divine timing when you do go back and look at it, because following your guidance, you get the rest of the picture, the rest of the story. So journaling I have found to be really invaluable, and I never was a writer, and that's not the case now. I'm not even the same person I used to be.
Oh, no, you're not. You're just not.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us are. I don't think we're the
No,
same
we're
people
not.
we were this
5
morning.
years ago, the people we were 5 years ago.
You go, guys.
I've lived in 3 different states since 5 years ago. I didn't even know I could move.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. Crazy neat, though. I mean, there were experiences in between that weren't, but the end result's awesome. And that's just the current end result. I don't know what the next end result's going to be. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
So let's discuss what other ways we can use the same type of energy, meaning the color energy. I have one where I use it to clear the energy of the home. And so I've taught this to a number of people, wherein to clear the frequencies of the home, I say open up all of the windows
Okay.
and then use a color. I like to choose purple because I think purple is a very high vibration.
Right.
And I kind of match the color to the wind in my mind. I imagine the wind flowing through the entire house to clear the energies out of the
Mm.
entire home. So it's one
Wow.
of those things because uh, first time I went to Amsterdam, I said, okay, I'm going to try, guess what? Weed. I said I was going to try it just to see what it was because it's legal there, right? It's legal. And so we went to one of those special cafes and they gave me the White Widow, but I don't smoke. So literally burnt my throat. I said, I can't do that.
Whoa. Yeah.
I said, I can't do that. So instead, I went and got an edible, which was a brownie. And that was the first night I actually saw that the wind had color.
Oh.
And I laughed the entire time because I was probably like 23 years old at the time. And I literally spent the night laughing at the colors of the wind. Remember Pocahontas, the colors of the
Yeah,
wind?
yeah.
It's true. So that's what gave me the idea
Right.
for when I got into the spirituality of things to actually use color and the wind to clear the home, and it works every time.
Wow, I'm gonna have to try that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
'Cause
did do that as well. You suggested it to me a few weeks ago,
Yeah.
and I did it, and it was lovely, just
Yeah. It
lovely.
literally
yeah,
changed
I'm gonna have to try that when the nicer weather gets here. Right now, all that would blow through would be cold winds. So I'm like,
all.
oh
Well, you
no.
can even do it with the cold wind. You can do it with any
Oh,
type of wind you have outside at any point.
yeah.
Um, and it'll actually change the frequency. You'll find that
Okay.
the air is fresher. You'll find that you can sense the energy of the house being clean.
Okay.
Uh, you'll find a lot of things.
I
You may
should do
want to
that.
clean up a room, and that'll be able to shift the energy of the
Right.
room itself. So
I should
it
give it a
sparks a
shot.
lot of things once you do this.
Mm-hmm.
It sparks a lot of ideas, that is. So yeah,
Okay.
and it's free.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. And where I am now, I could actually do it because where I was before, I didn't have anything where I could get the wind to blow through. And now I have windows on either side. I have a
Yeah.
balcony door and I have a window and other windows, and everything can go with the cross breeze. It can go through.
Mm-hmm. So it's the same idea, using the color energy to change the
Mhm.
frequencies of the reality around you. So
Okay.
that's lovely.
That does sound like a good idea. Thank you. That
You're
sounds like a really neat
welcome.
idea. Yeah, I should do that once. I think I know what, I think I know when I want to do that too. So,
Perfect. Lex, Kimmy, you're with us?
Hi, yeah, I'm with you.
Hi.
I'm just finishing cooking, so I've got myself on pause, on mute because I don't want to disturb you. But I should be able
That's
to
all right.
join and speak just after dinner. But I'd like to listen in whilst we eat and everything, if you don't mind.
That's all right.
Thank
Perfect.
you.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm just here enjoying listening.
Yes.
Yay.
Did this spark any ideas for you, Kim?
Eh, not really.
Not really.
Not really, not yet. Let it sink in.
Not yet. Okay,
And she's
cool.
just moved too. She just got a new apartment really like a week ago.
oh, that's okay. Cool.
Nice.
Yeah,
So
it's very nice here. Yeah.
yeah, you can use that idea for your new apartment.
Yeah.
I know it
Or
sounds weird. I know this stuff sounds weird. I know it sounds hocus pocusy sometimes or airy fairy, but it's so beneficial when you do
yeah.
it. When you do things, go, oh, wow, this is really pretty neat.
Mm.
Think, oh, I want to try to do some more of this weird airy fairy stuff because
Yeah.
it's just so nice and refreshing. Isn't refreshing one of those things that we crave? You know, how do you add new life into
Right.
like an old space and go, oh, well,
Oh,
we
that's
can do
true.
this weird idea. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to work. That doesn't sound like that can do anything. Well, yeah,
I
it
would
can,
like to do that.
but it
Yes.
can. Just because you don't believe it doesn't mean it doesn't work. It's,
I
it
I
does.
actually ran to the bathroom during that, so I wasn't sure exactly what was said, but what I heard was stuff about the wind and the colors, and that's pretty much all I heard.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was using the wind and the colors to clear the home, to clear the energies of a home.
Ah, yeah, I can definitely use that. Yeah.
Yes. Holly, you wanted to say something? Oh. All right. Anyone has any stories they would like to share? Any more stories?
Mm, yeah. Just coasting right now. I've been talking like all morning.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, you get to talk, Sarah. You say stuff.
Well, let's see. So we're talking about color. And color is very important to our reality because everything has color. Color is a vibration, color is a frequency, it's a thought, it's an intention, and it can be a method. There are colors all around us. We can magnify the colors, we can subtract the colors. One of the
Hmm.
things I like to use colors for to understand that I am part of it is use colors in the food. And when you eat the food and see the colors at the same time, you can intend to digest the color's meaning for you.
Oh, okay.
And that would actually allow the color and intention to spread throughout your body.
Oh, neat. Hmm. I
Yes.
never thought of that. That's kind of cool.
You see, nature provides us color
Mm-hmm.
in everything we see. Color is a big part of our lives.
Yes.
It's a big part of who we are. And so you can actually use the colors. Let's say the colors of the flowers. Let's say the colors of the trees, the stems, the barks, the trunks, the colors of the mountains, the colors of the rivers and the oceans. And let that help you become part of them as well as you are perceiving them. You see, you are
Mm.
everything that you see around you. You are one with them.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can use the colors to understand more how you are one with those elemental parts of your reality.
Right.
Color is just the easy fraction of connecting to it, you see. I like to take a walk, and on my walks, I look at the beautiful flowers, and sometimes I intend for that color to become a part of my auric field.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you see a fuchsia flower,
Mm.
fuchsia being a mixture of red and pink and purple. And that's a very interesting color for me to see in a flower. And what I do, I imagine it encircling me in my energetic field, my auric field, and it becomes part of me. It heals me with its own color. The flower, in turn, becomes part of me and connects me to the earth. And so, this is another way you can use color,
Mm,
the colors of nature.
yeah.
Is that what you mean, Dan?
One of the things, yeah, that's one of the things you can do. Now, as you were saying that, I'm thinking, yeah, but if you already weren't that color, because your reality is a reflection of you. So that color already had to be a piece of you in order for you to even see it. But what you're talking about there, the mechanism is you're taking something um, that even though it was generated from like a less physical manifestation, and then you consciously make it a piece of you. So that
Yes.
adds to your physicality
Yes.
and boosts your physicality that way. So that way, that's really important too. So yeah, so
Mm.
it's neat how you look at it.
Yes. So,
I have a question, Sarah.
yes.
I had a recent vision, huge, huge vision. Now, I'm a person who, when I shamanic travel or visions or dreams or anything like that, it's always in color. But this particular one stood out as in everything was black and white.
Mm.
Everything I saw was in black and white, which was very strange for me. And I won't get in too deeply with what the vision was about, but it had to do with the divine feminine within my soul collective. And I don't know what that means.
Okay. So, what I'm getting from just hearing that portion is that the divine feminine is part of each and every one of us. Therefore, it is a part of our soul collective. So, you have the divine feminine and the divine masculine. And with your soul, it entails both portions of the frequencies, those two frequencies, in all of the universe, in all of nature, and in all of creation. And so, yes, the divine feminine aspect of your soul is very powerful and encompasses everything that you are and everything that's around you, within you. And so you can use the divine feminine aspect because the divine feminine aspect is that of creation itself. It propagates, you can birth a new life form from the divine feminine, you can create a new life form, you can plant a new life form and it grows. You can teach this life form about itself, or it teaches itself about itself, but it entails all aspects of creation. And so, how do you wish to use this divine feminine aspect for yourself?
Well, in my case, it was millions of female souls
Yes.
coming to me and in me, and my heart chakra is so full it almost hurts. There's so many in there. I'm trying to integrate it. But my main thing was, how come black and white?
Because
Minus color.
I can answer that if you want me to.
go
Yes,
ahead.
please.
Because you went so high up in dimension, your eyes, your sensors, your things couldn't even see that color there. You couldn't even perceive the color there. It was so brilliant.
Oh. Okay.
You follow? You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure do.
It's kind of,
I never would have thought of that. Thank you.
yeah. But
Could it also be because the feminine aspect is negative? Could that also have anything to do with
Who
it?
told you that?
no, it's not negative at all.
Well,
It's
I think
just that it
she's
was so
referring
high.
to the shadow portion of our
The yin and
self.
the yang.
Yeah. Mm.
Okay. So it's not negative. It's a different way of perceiving the reality. And so you have the light and the darkness. You see, the feminine aspect has the quality of growing even within the darkness. It can grow within the light and the darkness. It can use both types of frequencies.
So maybe that's what that was representing. It was all parts of divine feminine, the light and dark together.
Right.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes.
My brain didn't even go there. Thank you for clarifying.
You're welcome. It's just one of those things that you see. There are certain flowers that can only bloom in the darkness.
Yeah. I remember hearing about one of those not long ago.
There are certain animals who will only come out in the darkness. They are called nocturnal.
Yeah.
And so you have all of these aspects of life in the darkness. That feminine aspect is what allows for that to occur. They are the light in the darkness. They retain the light like the moon. It retains the light in the darkness. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm venturing a guess that it was black and white. It had to have been seventh dimensional or above, because we can't even, in our physical vehicles, it's not built to go past 7. We're not going to perceive past 7 very well. And if you were real in this really, awesome place, but it was black and white, then it had to have been 7 or above.
Yeah, I'm so glad you guys are talking about color, because as it relates to dimensions, because this is the the first I've even thought about dimensional color schemes or lack thereof.
Yes.
So that is very astute, both of you.
Lexi has something to say.
Yeah, I do, but I just have to come through in 1 second. Yeah. So to qualify what I mean by the feminine being negative is that it's the polarity. So you've got a negative and a positive. Well, the masculine is the plus sign, the positive charge, and the feminine is the negative. That's why, like in electronics and electrics, or like when you put in an aerial in a TV, the feminine side is negative and it's open, And the masculine side is the side that like has the prong that pushes into it, and it's positive. So in terms of a complete circuit, you have to have a negative and a positive, and the masculine is positive and the feminine is negative in that respect. And that's why I mentioned it and asked, could it have anything to do with the fact that if it's negative, then would that have anything to do with the color thereof?
Ah, so you were
Could
using
have
it in that.
suggested a polarity, that it was feminine energy only, and because it was feminine energy only, it didn't have the other color and was presented. There is an aspect of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see that that could be perceived that way. Interesting.
Beautiful.
So it was, if it was a pure feminine divine energy, it would have been, yeah, just a singular. There wouldn't have been polarity. It was just, would have been just one side of it, one side of the energy represented only. And she said it was so divine feminine, that it was so packed with divine feminine, there almost wasn't anything else. So yeah, so I could see that point of view from that aspect, from that perspective. Yeah. So it could be both. Could be both. It was very high dimensional, one side of the energy. Right. I don't know what you can do with that, but I guess mull it around and see if that turns into something or whatever. Yeah. Yeah. Try it, see what happens.
Holly.
Oh, there we go. Couldn't get it to unmute. Yeah, I didn't. I was just listening. That's
No, but it does make sense, because it was feminine energy. You're even like, when you started talking about it, you began to cry because you felt all the heart of it.
Oh, it's been, well, I'll tell you what happened. I won't mention names or a group, but I got a part. I was just for a couple days a part of this group that was shamanic based, which is fine. I'm very much that energy as well. And right from, I mean, the moment I thought yes, I had a physical reaction that didn't go away. I mean, my heart, it was like something plugged into my heart. And it took me, it was very disconcerting. And for 2 days, I just couldn't even sleep and couldn't think of anything else. And in this group, and I finally, I just had to back away. I just couldn't deal with it. And it still stayed, that thing in my heart. So, and I had my partner do a clearing, because I'm thinking, oh my gosh, maybe this whole group and all of its peoples, women, it was all women. Maybe there's all these big, thick cord of energy stuck in there just from saying yes that I need to cut. I didn't understand yet. So.
What was the question that you said yes to?
Just to being a part of the group.
Just to being a part of the group, and you said yes.
My intention of joining and participating and learning, but like the moment I said yes, there was this huge plug-in or something. So he, cleared, and he's like, I'm just not sensing anything bad. There's it's you. He just kept saying, and he finally just sat down and channeled, what was in there. And I was like, me? And see, it was between my yes and the next day that he was doing this, or day and a half later, that I had this huge division.
Mm-hmm.
And it was,
Why the division? You had a doubt on joining the group?
no, I
Okay.
didn't. But you know, there was this thing with my heart that was just bugging me, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like a lot of pressure and just weird. You know,
I'm
it was
getting
like,
the
it was
feeling,
like my first awakening.
right. I'm getting the feeling that this is going to be an important part of your self-discovery and a part of the thing you've been wanting most right now, which is to begin
Ooh,
And then lost audio on the
you
important part.
froze.
Yep, and then it
Oh,
froze.
well, I'll keep talking quickly. I don't want it to be about me here, but this vision that came to me at night was, I'm trying to remember, and I didn't write it down, but yet.
I'm
But it
sorry,
was
that
this.
computer went.
Oh, there you go.
Yep,
Okay.
you back. You're gonna have to
But
repeat
it,
that whole thing,
Yeah.
Sarah.
Okay. So
go
what
ahead,
did you
Sarah.
say?
Yeah.
You
I
want me to
got the,
finish?
yeah. Well, I got the feeling that you felt it was going to, it's a big step for you. And sometimes when we decide to take a step because you made a decision, you said yes, we automatically feel the, we feel the sort of idea of the future of what that decision will have on us and what we must do to partake of that future. Sometimes it could be it can seem so big and daunting that our first reaction is to say, whoa, 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 what's going on? Right? It can feel so big, bigger than ourselves.
It definitely was. It the short interaction I had with some of the members, the whole feel of the group and the energy emanating off of them were otherworldly. Let's put it that way.
I
It's
like
like
it.
nothing I've ever felt. So that night, it was, imagine, you know, you're sleeping and all of a sudden you're awakened, and there's this group of black and white females. I don't mean skin, but
Mm-hmm.
vision, you
Mm-hmm.
know, grays, blacks, whites,
Mm-hmm.
come and scooping me up, like this group just just grabbed me up, and they just went up and up and up, and more came and more came and more came, and like I'm this rocket, you know, and they just like went out into the stratosphere, and just all of us burst into like millions of tiny sparks, like stars in the sky, and black and white, you know. So, and with that feeling not going away, and I didn't get what was going on, but I thought that thing I was feeling in my heart was all the energies of the women in that group that connected to me, and maybe all the other groups connected to that group, and you know, all females, and it wasn't them at all.
No.
It was all of them, all of me's.
Yes.
Past, present, future, parallel, millions of them. And that's what she said. We are you, you are us, and there are
You
more of us than stars in the sky. And I'm just like, okay. So,
so basically you've decided to step into your power when you said yes to joining the group.
yeah. But I'm not a part of the group anymore. I and I realize now I've done nothing but investigating this whole occurrence. you know, meditating and talking to my soul, which is a new thing, a new function, about what all that meant. And basically it was divine timing for me to connect with this group, and that the whole thing was meant as a catalyst. I wasn't meant to stay. It was just a catalyst for this next huge step.
Awesome.
And
Just wanted to see if you wanted to say yes. So it offered you the energy, you accepted it, you just got a lot more connection than you bargained for.
Yeah.
You learned that.
yes, I'm just
You learned that, and now
starting.
you're accepting it and going, oh, I see, this is me. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So it's
Just
pretty
last
impressive.
night I had put a, you know, when Rob said it's all you, and I was still doubting, and I'm like, okay, well, okay, I won't cut the cords, but I'll put a filter. Like, I can go out, but they can't come in. But I still didn't understand it was all me. So
Okay, so you're still using the idea of protection for yourself in this.
but I undid it last night.
Okay, good.
I mean, if they're truly me, there has to be an open, you know, back and forth.
Exactly.
So I undid what I did.
Wonderful.
So now I'm finally, because I did that agreement with my other souls, it's finally, my body is like, my brain and body were fighting it to the point where it was painful. So when I agreed and followed the alignment of the whole thing, I'm finally now starting not to hurt and integrate all these new energies.
Yeah.
Might take a while.
Like, let me tell you, ladies, you doubt and fear and non-agreement can certainly affect you in a negative way. It's way easier just to go with the flow. Let it happen. Be in agreement. Know that it's for your highest good. Then you're not fighting upstream, you know. It's you just, oof. And I'm years into this and I'm still doing.
Yeah, you're still an infant though. Yeah.
No, you're in your toddler stage, honey.
Yes. But it's a good one. It's a good one. You've been trying so hard to get here, and now you're here, and it's like, oh, what the hell have I done?
Oh, yeah. At times it's a smidge overwhelming.
Yeah, well, that's all right. At least it came to you this way instead of some weird other way.
Exactly.
Yes.
As if this wasn't weird enough, but I mean, at least it came at a time when you even have like a group like this where you can come and go, okay, can you guys offer me a little bit of clarity on this? Because
oh, I'm so grateful to you all. Thank you.
So it's
I
good.
really like what you said, Rebecca. That was profound.
What did I say?
Now I forgot by now.
Oh, okay.
You were like, go with the flow, don't go against.
Oh, that was Holly.
That was
Oh,
Holly.
no, Holly, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
With your flow. I'm getting that we should pause the recording and let it go, and then we can just sit and hang the rest a little bit.
All right.
Otherwise, our recording is going to be really, really long, and I don't want to overwhelm the audience with
Well,
because
I liked what was recorded so far.
yeah, it's been really, really
So,
good. But I'm kind of getting that it's wanting to pause
okay.
there until the next chapter,
The next episode
unfolds next week. And what comes between here and there.
All right.
Yeah, you guys want to do maybe some blessings or something, and
yes.
then we'll do an invite and close.
Yes. So who would like to do a blessing? Holly?
Sure, I'll step up.
Go ahead.
Being we're talking about divine colors and divine feminine, let's see what blessing in relation to that, as it all applies to us. Tia sashia sasusa ataiki ashana asa. Antia shasalainia samasaikia sania shasu. Antaiana Ariana Shasikia Samasasya Alandia Ayana E Ayusha Aisia Shasaria Anama Eki Harisha Asia Shasia Satya Sha Antokia Shasanama Aya Sasania Saiki Anama Untuya Asaya Antakia Shasanaya Nama Antudia Shasanakia Namaanya Sasia. Namaste, ladies
Namaste.
and gentlemen.
Namaste.
Beautiful. So, Holly, what language was it for you?
It wasn't what I usually speak.
Yeah, but feel
It
it
was very feminine. About halfway through, something just whooshed over me and out. Let me think. Feel. No, feel. It's got to be feel.
God, she's learning, isn't she, Sarah?
She's learning.
I'm learning. Okay, let me just. The Lemurian Sisterhood.
All right.
Are you back? I missed it.
Here.
I
She said
missed it.
Lemurian Sisterhood.
Lemurian Sisterhood. Yes.
I did it.
Awesome. Yes. I've
And they're
spoken.
still around, Rebecca and Lex and Kimmy.
Yeah.
They're still
Cool.
here and they're
Yeah.
gathering, just so you know.
Yeah, that's cool.
Rebecca, do you have any blessing you would like to put out there?
No, nothing right now. Thank you, though.
It can be in English too.
Oh, no, I'm kind of shy about.
That's all right.
Rebecca's not there yet.
That's all right. Kimmy, would you like to say a blessing?
I'll pass for today. I'm also kind of shy. So thank
Aw.
you, though.
Lex?
Lex is eating, I think.
No, she's there.
No, I'm here. I'm thinking, but yeah, for the same, would rather feel, and nothing's really coming through for me in this moment.
Very well.
But I really enjoyed Holly's blessing, and I felt the femininity of it. It was very soft and sensual.
Nice. Well, Dan, do you have a blessing today?
No, I'm going to let you do it. You go right ahead.
Let me do one. Okay. Blessings to everyone around the world. Blessings to our planet. Blessings to our governmental officials all over the planet. Blessings to the people who are alive today all over the planet. Blessings to the animals and the nature beings and spirits. Blessings to all. Silania tia tu shiala te nairi ti. Kelania tiu shu da naya toya. Sulanai ti uchu tu kaya. Kia tayo to na. Iyasaya tu shiala. Hayasaya tu nidu. Hayo tu nai. Hai tu shilateo. Kaya ti si. Kaya tu naya. Kiyosu ai Dina Kiusutainaya Kaisitu Kayanaitu Hainitu Shilaiya. Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste. So just quickly, something to the effect of, it's a really brilliant time to be present on the planet. There's a lot unfolding here, many things we don't understand, but many that we can. And even though a lot of us seem to be in our own separate experiences, there are a lot of ways that we are all very similar. And even though we can't see the patterns unfolding on the planet, that we have come just to see if we could even do this thing and just watch it unfold, and how glorious it is to see the designs that are unfolding from their perspective. Anyway, something along those lines is what I got out of that. So Sarah's been on to me about, Dan, just say what you think you hear. So anyway, it's about, there's larger things unfolding here going on that we're a part of, that we're not even seeing, that are so glorious, there's not even words for it.
Yes.
So pretty interesting. That all ties in, you know, the energy kind of came in with Holly, right? Because she's having this experience, she can't comprehend it. It's almost unfathomable until it becomes fathomable, and then it's like, oh my God, look at the design of that thing. It's absolutely huge. So, oh, well, what good is that? And it's like, it's nothing but good. You know, it's just like, wow, this is awesome. What else can we do? I don't know. We're having pinochle next week on Tuesday. You know, bring some snacks. This is gonna be fun, right? And it's just like we're all along for this glorious ride, and we all get to be together when we do it, and it's all just super awesome. So anyway, with that, I'll say namaste and end the recording. But before I do, Sarah, tell everybody where you can be found again. Tell everybody where you can be found on the YouTube and the Facebook and the stuff.
Thank you. Thank you for being a part of us and watching, liking, thumbs upping, commenting. We would love to hear your comments or see them, and we can discuss them here. Any questions you may have. Nothing is too strange for us.
Yeah, we're all pretty strange already. Strange is the new normal, right?
Exactly. But thank you for liking, sharing, and commenting and being a part, joining us.
All right.
And I love you, and I love you, and I love you, and we all love you. Namaste.
Namaste. All righty.